Welcome to another Gene Key contemplation video. Before we dive into the specifics of Gene Key 47 and its themes, I wanted to again step back and just talk about this human journey, this evolutionary journey we are all on, this raising through the frequency bands, which ultimately is the journey from the shadow through the gifts to the Siddhi. And you know, the gifts are born through the shadow. So it's really worth mentioning again that we all have shadows and they are needed for this game we call life so that we can learn and grow and evolve. And Divine Comedy by Dante, someone Richard Rudd mentions in this audio, he speaks to the frequency bands that, in the words that he uses, which are the shadow being the inferno, the gift being purgatory, and the Siddhi being paradiso. And there's many systems that talk about this journey, and Gene Keys happens to be one that I love right now. It really resonates with me, as I've mentioned through my contemplation videos. So let's dive into the shadow. Specifically here in Gene Key 47 is oppression. And the dilemma of this shadow, and all of the shadows have a dilemma. The dilemma really is that we believe that we are victims, and we give our power away, and we externalize our karma, basically. We create this drama in our life because we're externalizing basically our own suffering. And we are, our soul essence is pure and perfect. But when we come into this life, when we incarnate, we bring karma with us, not because we deserve it or we've been bad in other lifetimes. There's a lot of misconception about karma. As Richard Rudd says, karma is collective. It's in our ancestors' blood. And so we inherently inherit this karma, basically so that we can learn and grow and play out this unique life we're here to live. So the suffering is really perpetuated when we don't own it and understand that we can transmute it and burn the karma off and experience more lightness and flow and joy and all the things we all really want to feel. So oppression, we all have, basically. We all have felt oppressed in our life. And if we have a repressive nature about us, we will feel hopeless. This oppression and the drama that plays out in our life, the suffering that seems to continually perpetuate, it makes us feel hopeless. And like, what's the point of all of this? And I've certainly been there in my life. But when we dare to go inside, go into the suffering, be alone in that space, simply just breathing with it, meditating, having some sort of sacred practice. This is how we burn out the karma, and that brings us to the gift. We will never get to the gift if we choose to stay in our victimhood and we don't own our own stuff. But at the gift level, we will begin transmuting and burning off this karma and letting go of the states of oppression. There's so much creativity in the level of the gift, in this purgatory. In Dante's Divine Comedy, it's like purgatory being a gift, huh? And, you know, I don't know Dante's Divine Comedy well enough, but I like what Richard Rudd says about, a great example about it is, it's like when you get into the gift, it's like similar to getting into meditation. For the first time you sit down and you try to get quiet with your mind, and you realize your mind is just, you got no control over it, and it's just running and so unsettled. It's like once you realize that about yourself, you can't unrealize it. And then you're sort of committed to the whole meditation and trusting that, hopefully, they say if I keep doing this, eventually my mind will settle. And that is the trust of the process, is that going into your own suffering and just being with it, being with the breath. There's nothing you have to do, simply being with it. We slowly start to burn off our karma, transmute over time. And then it feels like the city, there's this magnet that at the acidic level that we just start to get pulled towards it and be absorbed by it. It's this one's hitting me so deeply because I had this profound experience yesterday, and I've been sort of debating whether or not I want to share it or I'm ready to share it. I think I will. So in the human design graph, the 47 sits in the third eye area on the left side. And yesterday I had a migraine there, exactly there. And migraines are a pattern that I've had my whole life since I was a child. And they were really bad when I was a child. I used to get them weekly, and it would lead to vomiting. And at the time, I obviously don't know anything about karma or how to, that there's something I can do to own it. And I would project it onto external things. It's because of this food, or it's because of this thing, or it's because of whatever the stories were. And then feel like a victim, like, why is this happening to me? And, all of that kind of stuff. And it's been many, many years now where I understand and own and sit with and be with. And especially in the last couple of years, I've been really able to manage them in a profound way, where I can, without medication, come into presence and completely not feel the migraine anymore. And I had some amazing breakthroughs yesterday in purging, and how challenging I used to make the purging process and how easy it can really be. But I don't think that I could have understood how easy it could have been if I hadn't have gone through the challenges. And then to experience the euphoria that comes from that breakthrough and that clarity is truly amazing. So I guess I wanted to share that, because if you are somebody who is, committed to clearing your karma, and we reach these plateaus in transmutation that are sort of like initiations, and they sometimes seem like they're just getting harder and harder, and sometimes we can doubt if we're even, on the right path or doing the right thing. Is just to be that reminder to trust, just trust the whole process. Hindsight is 20/20. And then, we are all alchemists. It's to really know that and own that. And the Siddhic level, as he talks about transfiguration, is like altering our DNA permanently and experiencing so much light, and literally having new hormones be released because of this transfiguration that can occur. We can experience life at a whole new level of ease and softness and grace. And I've definitely tasted that at times. And I do go back and I go back and I visualize my younger self when she was really challenged, and I offer her encouragement and hope, especially in those times when I remember feeling really hopeless. That life really can be beautiful and is beautiful, even in the suffering. I'd love to hear from you. What stuck out for you? Did you feel any upgrades this week? Because the energies certainly seem to be there. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.